Tennessee is a state known for its music, history, and breathtaking landscapes. But beneath its picturesque hills and bustling cities lies a darker, more sinister side. Scattered across the state are places where tragedy, violence, and restless spirits refuse to rest. These haunted locations are steeped in centuries of stories, whispers, and unexplained phenomena that have terrified visitors for generations.
Demanding to be heard.
In these places, the past is never truly gone. Shadowy figures are seen moving where no one should be. Footsteps echo in empty corridors, and icy chills brush against the skin with no logical source. Some report hearing whispers that seem to come from the very walls, and others have felt an invisible presence following them through abandoned buildings and historic homes. From the legendary Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, where the ghosts of past performers allegedly roam the stage, to the infamous Bell Witch Cave in Adams, where the air itself seems to carry a menacing energy, Tennessee's haunted locations challenge the bravest of souls. Each site tells a story of sorrow, rage, or unfulfilled purpose, and many who visit are left shaken, questioning what is real and what is beyond comprehension. These haunted sites are more than just landmarks. They are gateways into the supernatural. They exist in the spaces between life and death, where spirits refuse to move on, and the living are forced to confront the unknown. For those brave enough to explore them, Tennessee offers a journey into fear itself, an opportunity to witness firsthand the terrifying remnants of the past that continue to haunt the present. Haunted Place. Number 1. The Ryman Auditorium, Nashville. The Ryman Auditorium in Nashville is not just a historic music venue. It is a place where the past comes alive in the most unsettling ways. Known as the original home of the Grand Ole Opry, the building has hosted countless performers over its long history, and many of those who walked its stages are said to have never truly left. Visitors and staff alike have reported a wide range of paranormal activity that makes this place one of Tennessee's most haunted landmarks. From shadowy figures appearing in empty hallways to the sounds of music and applause when no one is present, the Ryman is a magnet for supernatural encounters. Walking through the auditorium, one can sense an energy that is hard to describe. The creaking of the floorboards, the echo of footsteps, and the way the shadows seem to move just out of the corner of your eye all contribute to an atmosphere that is both awe-inspiring and unnerving. Many performers and audience members have reported feeling a presence in the theater, as though they are being watched by unseen eyes. Some say that the spirit of Minnie Pearl, the legendary comedian and Grand Ole Opry star, still roams the backstage areas, her laughter echoing faintly through the corridors late at night. Others claim to have seen figures dressed in period clothing, wandering the halls or standing silently near the stage, disappearing when approached. The Ryman's history is filled with stories that seem to fuel its hauntings. Built in 1892 as the Union Gospel Tabernacle, it quickly became a centerpiece of Nashville's cultural life. Over the years, it hosted countless musical performances, political rallies, and social gatherings, and with each passing decade, the building absorbed more energy from those who performed, celebrated, or even suffered within its walls. Many paranormal experts believe that this accumulation of emotional energy has contributed to the frequency of ghost sightings and unexplained phenomena at the venue. It is as if the very walls of the Ryman retain memories, playing them back to anyone sensitive enough to notice. Visitors to the Ryman often report hearing music when no instruments are playing, as if the echoes of past performances linger in the air. Some have heard the distinct sounds of a piano playing in empty rooms, or the soft strumming of a guitar that seems to have no source. Doors open and close on their own, Lights flicker without explanation, and cold spots appear suddenly, chilling the bones of anyone nearby. Security staff frequently describe hearing voices in areas where no one is supposed to be, and several employees have stated that the feeling of being watched never fully disappears, even during the day when the building is bustling with activity. The theater's backstage areas are particularly active, according to reports. Dressing rooms that have long been abandoned still seem to carry the energy of the performers who once occupied them. Some visitors claim to have felt invisible hands brushing against their skin, or seen mirrors reflect figures that are not standing in the room. Others report hearing whispers calling their names, or feeling sudden changes in temperature that make it impossible to ignore the supernatural presence. These encounters are not limited to employees or performers. Audience members have also claimed to experience unexplained phenomena, such as chairs moving slightly, shadows shifting in the corners of the room, and even phantom applause that fills the auditorium after a performance has ended. One of the most persistent legends surrounding the Ryman is that of the stage specters. These spirits are said to be former performers who loved the venue so much that they chose to remain after death. Some accounts describe figures standing on the stage, observing new performers, or wandering the aisles as though attending a show. Others tell of lights dimming mysteriously during rehearsals, only to brighten again moments later, as if acknowledging the presence of unseen guests. Many performers claim that their instruments seem to act independently at times, tuning themselves or producing notes without anyone touching them. This interaction between the living and the dead has led many to believe that the Ryman is a place where music and spirits intertwine, creating an atmosphere that is both magical and terrifying. The Ryman's haunted reputation has also drawn paranormal investigators from across the country. Using cameras, audio equipment, and electromagnetic field meters, investigators have documented numerous unexplained events. Shadowy figures appear on video, voices are captured on recordings with no logical source, and EMF readings spike in areas reported to have high activity. Investigators have suggested that the building's unique architecture, combined with its long history of emotional energy, may create an environment particularly conducive to paranormal phenomena. Some even argue that the Ryman serves as a gateway, a place where the boundary between the living and the dead becomes thin, allowing spirits to interact with the world of the living. Visitors who venture into the Ryman at night often report the most intense experiences. The grand stage, once filled with the energy of audiences and performers, becomes a place of haunting echoes when empty. Footsteps can be heard from the balcony, applause resonates through the empty seats, and figures appear and vanish in the glow of the stage lights. Many who have experienced these phenomena describe a mixture of fear and awe, recognizing that they are witnessing something extraordinary, something that cannot be explained by logic or science alone. The theater becomes a living testament to the past, a place where memory, music, and spirit converge in ways that continue to mystify and terrify. Despite its haunted reputation, the Ryman remains a beloved landmark, drawing visitors from all over the world. Tourists come to experience its history, performers come to honor its legacy, and ghost hunters come in hopes of encountering the supernatural. Every visit is different, with some experiencing only subtle hints of the paranormal, while others report full encounters that are impossible to ignore. The combination of music, history, and lingering spirits makes the Ryman a uniquely haunting experience, one that captivates and frightens in equal measure. The Ryman Auditorium is more than just a haunted location. It is a living museum of Tennessee's musical heritage, intertwined with the unexplained. Its walls hold the echoes of the past. Its halls are filled with unseen presences, and its stage remains a place where the dead and living meet. For those willing to explore its depths, it offers an unforgettable journey into history, mystery, and terror. Visitors leave with stories of shadows, whispers, and cold spots, forever aware that the spirit of the Ryman will continue to perform long after the curtain falls. Number 2. The Orpheum Theater, Memphis. The Orpheum Theater in Memphis is a historic venue that has entertained audiences for over a century. But beneath its elegant architecture and ornate interiors lies a darker, more sinister presence. Known for its long history of performances, from vaudeville acts to Broadway productions, the theater is said to be haunted by the spirits of former performers and patrons who never truly left. Visitors and staff have reported a variety of paranormal activity, from unexplained noises and footsteps to shadowy figures appearing on stage and in the wings, making it one of Tennessee's most notoriously haunted locations. Walking through the Orpheum, one can feel an atmosphere charged with energy. The echo of footsteps can be heard in empty hallways, doors open and close on their own, and lights flicker mysteriously. Many claim to have heard whispers calling their names, or faint sounds of music playing when no instruments are present. Some performers have stated that props and instruments seem to move on their own during rehearsals, and others have reported seeing ghostly apparitions standing silently in the wings, watching every move as though judging their performance. The history of the theater adds to its chilling allure. Built in 1928, the Orpheum has hosted countless shows, from music concerts to dramatic productions. Over the decades, many tragedies and untimely deaths have occurred both on and off stage, and locals believe these events have left an imprint on the building. Paranormal experts suggest that the repeated high emotional energy of performers and audiences over the years may have contributed to the strong presence of spirits. The theater's combination of grand architecture and rich history seems to create an environment in which supernatural activity thrives, making the Orpheum a focal point for ghost hunters and thrill seekers. Visitors often report experiencing cold spots in areas that should be warm, hearing doors creak or footsteps echoing when no one is present, and seeing figures dressed in period clothing moving across the stage or through the balcony. Shadowy forms have been spotted lingering near dressing rooms, and some have claimed to feel a sudden, unexplained pressure on their shoulders as they walk alone. The theater's backstage areas are particularly active, with reports of phantom voices, doors slamming without cause, and objects moving inexplicably. Many who have explored the Orpheum at night describe a sense of being watched, as though the spirits of past performers are observing and interacting with the living. The Orpheum Theater is not only haunted by performers, but also by patrons who spent their lives attending shows. Some have reported seeing apparitions seated in the balcony, silently watching the empty stage. Others have heard faint applause or cheering from invisible audiences, and many have felt sudden drops in temperature, accompanied by a sense of dread. Paranormal investigators have documented numerous strange occurrences, including recordings of unexplained voices, shadows caught on camera, and electromagnetic disturbances that defy logical explanation. These phenomena suggest that the Orpheum is a place where the boundary between the living and the dead is thin, allowing spirits to linger and interact with those who enter. The theater's legend of hauntings is deeply entwined with its cultural significance. From vaudeville stars to famous musicians, the spirits are said to represent performers who loved the venue so much that they never left. Some reports even suggest that the energy of the theater responds to performances, with lights dimming instruments tuning themselves, or stage curtains moving without cause. Audience members have occasionally experienced sudden chills, the sensation of being touched, or glimpses of ghostly figures moving among them during shows, adding an unsettling layer to what should be a simple visit or performance. Exploring the Orpheum is an experience that combines awe, history, and fear. Visitors feel a connection to the past, sensing the lingering presence of those who walked the halls before them. The theater's ornate interiors and grand stage serve as a backdrop for encounters that are both fascinating and terrifying. Many describe a feeling of being part of something larger, a thread connecting the living with the spirits who continue to occupy the space. These interactions are unpredictable, sometimes subtle and fleeting, and other times overwhelming, leaving witnesses shaken and forever changed. Despite its haunted reputation, the Orpheum Theater remains a celebrated cultural landmark. Tourists, performers, and paranormal enthusiasts are drawn to its history, its architecture, and the stories of the supernatural that continue to unfold within its walls. Some visitors experience only faint hints of the paranormal, while others encounter events that defy explanation, from moving objects and flickering lights to apparitions silently observing from the shadows. Each visit is unique, and each experience adds another layer to the theater's growing legend as one of Tennessee's most haunted places. The Orpheum Theater is more than a historic performance venue. It is a living monument to the energy, emotion, and spirit of those who came before. Its corridors, balconies, and stage areas carry the echoes of countless performances, celebrations, and personal tragedies, creating an atmosphere that is equal parts beautiful and terrifying. Those who step inside may leave with memories of shadows, whispers, and chilling sensations, forever aware that the theater is alive with the presence of its past. Number 3. The Bell Witch Cave, Adams. The Bell Witch Cave in Adams, Tennessee is one of the most infamous and chilling haunted locations in the United States. Steeped in a legend that has terrified generations, the cave and the surrounding area are forever linked to the story of the Bell family and the mysterious entity that came to be known as the Bell Witch. This haunting has persisted for centuries, and the cave is considered a focal point for paranormal activity, drawing visitors, historians, and ghost hunters alike, all eager to witness the inexplicable events for themselves. The legend tells of a malevolent spirit that began tormenting the Bell family in the early 19th century, focusing particularly on John Bell and his daughter Betsy, whose lives were dramatically altered by the relentless and sinister presence that seemed to haunt every corner of their property, including the cave. The cave itself is small, dark, and foreboding, located on a hill behind the Bell family property. Its entrance is narrow and low, requiring visitors to duck as they pass into the darkness. Within the cave, the air feels heavy and cold, carrying a sense of unease that is immediately palpable. Many who enter report a sudden drop in temperature, the sensation of being watched, and an overwhelming feeling of dread. Some describe hearing whispering voices echoing off the walls, as if the cave itself is alive with the presence of something unseen. Others have felt invisible hands brush against their skin, or experienced a weight pressing down upon them that makes movement difficult. The atmosphere is oppressive, and even the bravest souls often leave with a lingering sense of fear that persists long after they exit the cave. The history of the Bell Witch haunting is deeply disturbing and adds to the terror of visiting the cave. According to legend, the spirit first appeared around 1817, tormenting members of the Bell family with physical assaults, strange sounds, and unexplainable phenomena. Witnesses reported hearing knocks, scratching, and voices speaking in a deep, guttural tone. Betsy Bell was said to have been physically attacked, scratched, and slapped by the invisible entity, while John Bell experienced headaches, paralysis, and intense suffering attributed to the spirit's wrath. The Bell Witch was also said to have cursed John Bell, predicting his death in a way that would come true, and many locals believed that the entity could shapeshift, mimic voices, and even communicate with townspeople beyond the Bell family, warning, threatening, or teasing anyone who dared to approach. The cave gained notoriety as the supposed dwelling place or portal through which the Bell Witch manifested its power. Visitors have long reported heightened paranormal activity within the cave, including unexplained sounds, sudden cold spots, and the sensation of unseen entities moving around them. Shadowy figures are frequently reported in peripheral vision, vanishing when directly looked at, and objects occasionally move without explanation. Some claim to have heard footsteps echoing along the cave walls, while others report a sensation of being pulled or touched by something invisible. Many who explore the cave experience a sense of disorientation, as if time and space themselves are altered, and a few have even claimed to see flashes of light or shapes that appear humanoid but vanish before they can be fully observed. The legend of the Bell Witch has also been fueled by the numerous accounts of visitors and paranormal investigators. Over the years, investigators have documented audio recordings of unexplained voices, EMF readings that spike without cause, and shadows captured on camera that do not correspond to any human presence. Some have claimed to witness a low, dark mist moving within the cave, following them as they explore, while others have felt a sudden push or pull without any visible source. The cave is widely believed to be a point of intense energy, a place where the boundary between the living and the spirit world is exceptionally thin, making it a hot spot for paranormal activity that defies conventional explanation. The terror of the Bell Witch Cave is amplified by the stories of those who have come into direct contact with the spirit. Visitors recount sudden feelings of panic, a deep sense of being threatened, and even auditory hallucinations of growls, whispers, and curses. Some claim to have seen full-bodied apparitions in the darkness, while others report seeing glowing eyes staring from the shadows. A few explorers have described the sensation of being followed through the cave, feeling a presence always just behind them, keeping pace as they move through the narrow passages. Many leave the cave shaken with a visceral understanding that the Bell Witch legend is more than just a story, and that something ancient and malevolent may still inhabit the space. The cave is also associated with bizarre physical phenomena. Objects carried into the cave are said to shift or disappear inexplicably. Some visitors report hearing chains dragging across the ground, doors slamming in the distance, and rocks tumbling without any logical cause. Animals brought into the area are said to behave erratically, barking or growling at invisible forces, further contributing to the feeling that the cave itself is alive with a supernatural presence. These occurrences, coupled with the cave's historical association with the Bell Witch, create an atmosphere that is intensely unsettling, even for skeptics and experienced paranormal investigators. Visiting the Bell Witch Cave is not for the faint of heart. The combination of darkness, isolation, and lingering malevolent energy creates an environment where fear is inevitable. Many who enter are overcome by a sense of oppression, as if the air itself is filled with anger or malice. Some report hearing footsteps behind them, only to turn and find nothing, while others experience cold drafts or sudden chills that have no natural explanation. The cave demands respect and caution, as even the most skeptical or brave visitors often find themselves unnerved by the inexplicable events that occur within its walls. The cave continues to draw adventurers, thrill seekers, and paranormal enthusiasts from around the world. They come hoping to witness the Bell Witch firsthand, to experience the strange phenomena, or to simply feel the weight of history that permeates the cave. Those who enter are advised to proceed with caution, as the cave's reputation is well earned. It is considered a place where the supernatural intersects with reality, where centuries of pain, fear, and unfinished business manifest in ways that are terrifyingly real. The Bell Witch Cave is more than a haunted site. It is a testament to a legend that has endured for generations. It embodies the fear, mystery, and supernatural activity that has made the Bell Witch one of the most infamous hauntings in American history. For those willing to brave its dark corridors, the cave offers a chilling glimpse into the unknown, a chance to experience firsthand the power of a spirit that refuses to rest, and an encounter that will haunt their memories forever. Number 4. The Tennessee State Prison, Nashville. The Tennessee State Prison in Nashville is one of the most chilling and notorious haunted locations in the state. This imposing structure, with its towering stone walls and labyrinthine corridors, has a dark history that spans over a century, filled with violence, despair, and death. Originally built in the late 19th century, the prison housed thousands of inmates under harsh conditions, many of whom suffered cruel treatment or met untimely deaths. It is said that the anguished spirits of former prisoners still roam the halls, unable or unwilling to leave, creating an environment thick with fear and paranormal activity that has drawn ghost hunters, thrill seekers, and historians for decades. Walking through the Tennessee State Prison, one can immediately sense the weight of its past. The air is heavy, cold, and oppressive, carrying a palpable sense of sorrow and anger from the countless souls who endured suffering within these walls. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps echoing in empty corridors, doors slamming without cause, and faint ghostly voices whispering in the dark. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures in prison uniforms, wandering the cell blocks or pacing the hallways. Others describe sudden drops in temperature, the sensation of being watched, or invisible hands brushing against their skin, leaving them shaken and on edge. The prison's history contributes to the pervasive sense of dread. Over the decades, inmates endured harsh punishments, solitary confinement, and violent confrontations, with some meeting gruesome ends inside the cells or in the execution area. Stories of hangings, assaults, and unexplained deaths are interwoven with the fabric of the prison, and many believe that the violent energy of these past events has left an imprint on the building itself. Paranormal investigators have reported a variety of strange phenomena, including doors opening and closing on their own, chains dragging across floors, and disembodied voices calling out names or issuing warnings. Some have even captured shadowy figures on camera that vanish when approached. Particularly active areas of the prison include the solitary confinement cells, the death row block, and the old execution chamber. These spaces are described as unbearably heavy and suffocating, with a feeling of malevolence that is difficult to ignore. Visitors report hearing screams, muffled cries, or desperate pleas echoing from empty cells, and some claim to have seen figures standing silently, watching them with hollow eyes. The solitary confinement areas are especially notorious, with some experiencing nausea, dizziness, or sudden panic attacks when entering, suggesting that the spiritual energy is strongest in these locations. Many accounts suggest that the spirits within the Tennessee State Prison are not just residual energy, but intelligent entities capable of interacting with the living. Objects move without explanation, lights flicker or turn on and off, and some visitors have even been physically touched or pushed. Paranormal teams using modern equipment often record unexplained electromagnetic fluctuations, temperature drops, and EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings that capture voices or sounds not heard by the naked ear. The cumulative effect of these encounters has earned the prison a reputation as one of the most haunted and dangerous locations in Tennessee. The architecture of the prison itself adds to its eerie ambiance. Its towering stone walls, narrow hallways, and cramped cells create a sense of confinement and helplessness, amplifying the fear that many visitors report. The design of the prison, intended to control and punish, seems to resonate with the spirits trapped within, making each corridor, cell, and stairwell a potential site of paranormal activity. Visitors often speak of a constant feeling of being followed, of eyes watching them from the shadows, and of sudden, inexplicable sensations of dread or panic that make their exploration both thrilling and terrifying. The Tennessee State Prison has been abandoned for many years, yet the activity remains strong. Local legends and eyewitness accounts continue to fuel the reputation of the prison as a hotspot for paranormal encounters. Ghost hunters enter prepared for anything, yet even the most experienced often report moments of intense fear, sudden chills, and encounters that defy explanation. Some claim to have captured full-bodied apparitions, while others report hearing faint laughter, screams, or chains dragging along the floor. The combination of history, architecture, and lingering spirits makes this location uniquely terrifying and compelling. Despite its dangerous and haunted reputation, the prison remains a magnet for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts who wish to experience its dark energy firsthand. Visitors are advised to exercise extreme caution, as the history and spiritual activity can be overwhelming. Many leave the prison with vivid memories of shadows moving in the corner of their eyes, cold drafts in empty corridors, and the unnerving sensation of being observed by the countless souls who still inhabit the space. The Tennessee State Prison is more than a building. It is a living testament to pain, suffering, and unresolved spirits, a place where the past continues to reach out and touch the present. Number 5. The Sam Davis House, Smyrna. The Sam Davis House in Smyrna, Tennessee, is a historic site that carries with it an air of mystery, sorrow, and supernatural intrigue. Built in the early 19th century, this plantation-style home was the residence of Sam Davis, a young Confederate soldier who was executed at the age of 21 for espionage during the Civil War. Known as the boy hero of the Confederacy, Davis's story is tragic and has left an emotional imprint on the house, making it a site of reported paranormal activity that has drawn ghost hunters, historians, and curious visitors for generations. The house, preserved as a museum, appears calm and picturesque during the day, but many claim that once night falls, the spirits of the past awaken and the air grows heavy with sorrow and unease. Visitors to the Sam Davis House report a range of unexplained phenomena. Footsteps echo through empty hallways, doors creak as if someone has passed through, and whispers are heard even when no one else is present. Some guests have reported seeing shadowy figures moving silently through the rooms, particularly in areas associated with Sam Davis's life, such as his bedroom or the study where he spent his final days. Others have felt sudden cold drafts, chills that cut through clothing and skin, and an unshakable feeling that they are being watched by unseen eyes. These experiences have contributed to the reputation of the Sam Davis House as one of Tennessee's most haunted historic sites. The history of the house is deeply intertwined with the paranormal activity reported there. Sam Davis was arrested as a spy and executed at Fort Delaware, and legends suggest that his spirit returned to the home where he grew up, lingering among the family and in the very rooms where he lived. Witnesses report that his presence is especially strong near personal belongings or spaces that were significant to him. Apparitions of a young man in Confederate attire have been seen pacing the floors or standing silently by doorways, as though watching over the house. Some visitors claim to hear the sound of someone walking in the upper hallways, or faint singing and murmuring, believed to be Davis himself or other spirits tied to the home. The Sam Davis House also features areas that are particularly active for paranormal encounters. The upstairs bedrooms, including Sam's own, are frequently the site of cold spots and sudden temperature fluctuations. Doors open and close by themselves, lights flicker inexplicably, and furniture sometimes appears shifted or out of place after a visit. Visitors exploring the house report a strong sense of history pressing down on them, an emotional energy that can be both fascinating and unsettling. Some have even captured EVP recordings of voices calling names, speaking in tones reminiscent of 19th century speech, or emitting faint cries that cannot be explained. Many accounts describe a feeling of presence that goes beyond simple residual energy. Guests have reported sensations of being gently touched or guided by unseen hands, often when alone in quiet rooms. Others have experienced a sudden wave of emotion, as if the sorrow and tragedy of past events are being transmitted directly to them. Paranormal investigators note that these experiences may be tied to the emotional trauma of Sam Davis's execution and the lingering grief of his family, creating an environment where spirits may continue to manifest. The house is often described as a place where time feels distorted, where the past and present converge, and where the living encounter echoes of tragedy that remain palpable even centuries later. The architectural features of the Sam Davis House contribute to its haunted atmosphere. The large wooden floors, narrow staircases, and high ceilings create natural acoustics that amplify sounds, making whispers, footsteps, or other noises feel unnervingly close. Shadows cast by candlelight or street lamps often appear to move independently of their sources, and some visitors have claimed to see figures emerging from corners or standing in doorways before vanishing suddenly. Even the gardens surrounding the house are said to be haunted, with reports of phantom figures walking the grounds at night or unexplained rustling in the trees. Despite its reputation for being haunted, the Sam Davis House is a preserved historic site and museum, allowing visitors to explore its rooms and grounds while learning about its historical significance. However, many who visit come away with a sense of unease, reporting experiences that cannot be explained by logic or reason. The combination of historical tragedy, lingering spirits, and an atmosphere thick with emotional energy makes the Sam Davis House a powerful and chilling sight for anyone interested in the paranormal. The haunting at the Sam Davis House serves as a reminder that history is not just a record of events, but also a repository of emotions and experiences that can transcend time. The young soldier's tragic story, combined with the intensity of life and death within the house, has created a location where the past is ever present and the spirits of those who lived there are still remembered. Visitors often leave with lasting memories of shadows, whispers, cold spots, and an overwhelming sense that they have been in the presence of something beyond the ordinary. Number 6. The Orme Mansion, Chattanooga. The Orme Mansion in Chattanooga, Tennessee is a historic estate known for its grandeur, elegance, and unsettling paranormal activity. Built in the late 19th century, the mansion has witnessed generations of families and events, many of which have left behind an energy that some believe still lingers in the halls and rooms. Its stately architecture, with expansive corridors, high ceilings, and ornate furnishings, seems to amplify the eerie presence that visitors often report, creating an atmosphere that is simultaneously beautiful and haunting. Over the years, countless accounts of ghostly encounters have been shared by locals, visitors, and paranormal investigators, solidifying the Orme Mansion's reputation as one of Tennessee's most haunted historic properties. Visitors to the Orme Mansion often describe an immediate sensation of unease upon entering. The air feels heavy, and a coldness lingers in certain rooms, particularly along the long hallways and in the grand foyer. Many report hearing footsteps in spaces where no one is present, doors opening and closing without explanation, and faint whispers echoing from corners. Shadowy figures are frequently seen moving along the walls or peering from behind doorways before vanishing as quickly as they appeared. Some guests have felt invisible hands brush against them or experienced a sudden pressure in the chest that leaves them breathless, suggesting the presence of an unseen entity. The history of the Orme Mansion contributes to its haunting reputation. Over the decades, the estate has seen its share of family tragedies, mysterious illnesses, and unexplained deaths. Locals recount tales of former residents who died under unusual circumstances and whose spirits are believed to have remained behind. These accounts, combined with the mansion's isolated location and imposing architecture, create a powerful setting for paranormal activity. Many believe that the spirits are not only residual energy, but intelligent entities capable of interacting with the living. Reports include objects moving on their own, lights flickering without cause, and disembodied voices calling out names or issuing warnings. Certain areas of the mansion are particularly active. The Grand Ballroom, once a site of lavish parties and gatherings, is said to host shadowy figures, dancing silently in the corners or standing along the walls, observing visitors. The bedrooms, especially the master suite, have recorded numerous cold spots, sudden gusts of air, and sensations of being touched by invisible hands. Investigators have also reported strange electromagnetic readings, sudden fluctuations in temperature, and voices captured on electronic recording devices that do not correspond to any present human source. These paranormal encounters create an unsettling experience that has drawn ghost hunters and thrill seekers to the mansion for decades. Visitors often describe the mansion as a place where time and reality feel altered. The long corridors seem to stretch unnaturally. Shadows appear to move independently of light sources, and unexplained noises echo in ways that defy the laws of physics. Some have reported seeing full-bodied apparitions, dressed in clothing from previous centuries, silently moving through rooms or standing at the end of hallways before disappearing. Others describe hearing footsteps following them, feeling unseen eyes upon them, or sensing a heavy emotional presence that fills the space with sorrow, anger, or despair. The gardens and exterior of the Orme Mansion are also reportedly haunted. Visitors have described glimpsing figures walking through the hedges, hearing voices in the still of night, and seeing lights flicker across the grounds when no source is present. The combination of the mansion's history, architecture, and lingering spirits creates a uniquely intense paranormal environment that is difficult to ignore. Many who visit leave with a lingering sense of unease, convinced that the mansion holds more than just memories of the past. The Rotherwood Mansion continues to attract those fascinated by history and the supernatural. Paranormal investigators come equipped with cameras, audio recording devices, and other tools in hopes of capturing evidence of the spirits said to inhabit the estate. Yet even casual visitors report experiences that cannot be easily explained, from sudden chills and shadowy movements to inexplicable sounds and the sensation of being watched. The mansion stands as a testament to the enduring presence of the past and to the possibility that some spirits never truly rest. Number 7. The Hermitage Hotel, Nashville. The Hermitage Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee, is more than just a luxurious accommodation steeped in Southern elegance and grandeur. It is also a place where history and mystery collide, creating an atmosphere that has left guests, employees, and paranormal enthusiasts with stories of chilling encounters and unexplainable phenomena. Established in 1910, the hotel has hosted presidents, celebrities, and dignitaries. Yet beneath the opulent chandeliers, marble floors, and lavish suites, a different kind of presence lurks. The Hermitage is renowned not only for its luxury, but also for the spirits said to roam its halls, giving it a reputation as one of Nashville's most haunted landmarks. Visitors often report an immediate sense of unease upon entering the hotel. The lobby, though elegant and welcoming, can feel unusually heavy or oppressive, especially in the quieter evening hours. Many claim to hear footsteps echoing along empty corridors, whispers in rooms where no one is present, and the subtle sensation of being watched. Some have seen fleeting shadows or silhouettes pass across hallways and doorways, vanishing when approached. There are stories of guests in suites suddenly feeling cold spots or drops in temperature that seem to follow them as they move from room to room, as though a spectral presence is actively moving with them. The hotel's history contributes significantly to its haunting reputation. Over the decades, the Hermitage has witnessed countless events, from grand celebrations to private tragedies. Guests and staff report that spirits of past visitors, and perhaps even employees, linger within the walls. It is said that these entities are tied to moments of intense emotion, pain, or sudden death, creating areas of concentrated paranormal activity. The suites, particularly those on the upper floors, have long been cited as hotspots for supernatural phenomena. Lights flicker without explanation, doors creak open on their own, and some have reported faint sounds of piano music drifting through the corridors, even when the hotel is quiet. The most commonly reported experiences involve the hotel's upper floors and stairwells. Guests recount hearing footsteps above or behind them in stairways or corridors, only to find no one present when they turn to look. Doors sometimes slam shut without warning, and items appear to move from their original positions. Some visitors have described feeling a presence pressing down on them while lying in bed, or sensing a shadow leaning over them as they attempt to sleep. Paranormal investigators have documented EVP recordings, capturing whispers, soft cries, or murmurs that cannot be attributed to any living person, and temperature readings that drop dramatically in certain areas. The Hermitage Hotel's historic suites and ballrooms are also notable for paranormal activity. The Grand Ballroom, which once hosted lavish events and society gatherings, has reports of phantom dancers and ghostly laughter that echoes across the polished floors. Some have witnessed apparitions dressed in early 20th century attire, gliding silently through the rooms, only to disappear when approached. Suites on the top floors have accounts of unexplained movements, cold spots, and the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. Many believe that the spirits are intelligent, capable of interacting with guests, or at least making their presence known through subtle and chilling means. Staff members have shared their own experiences over the years. Housekeepers and hotel personnel often report hearing conversations, footsteps, or laughter when cleaning empty rooms or walking late at night through dimly lit corridors. Some claim to have caught glimpses of figures in doorways or to have seen objects move on their own. While the hotel continues to function as a modern luxury destination, these stories persist, adding a layer of intrigue and mystery for those who stay there. Guests sometimes leave the hotel feeling as if they have been touched by something unseen, a reminder that the past is never far away, within the Hermitage's walls. The hotel's architectural features also enhance the eerie atmosphere. The high ceilings, intricate moldings, and long hallways create spaces where sound can travel in strange and unexpected ways, amplifying noises that may be normal during the day into something sinister at night. Shadows cast by chandeliers and antique lamps can appear to move independently, giving the impression of figures lurking just out of sight. The combination of history, elegance, and spectral activity makes the Hermitage a place where the line between luxury and terror blurs, captivating visitors and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Despite its haunted reputation, the Hermitage continues to welcome guests from around the world. For many, the allure lies in experiencing both the historical significance and the supernatural intrigue firsthand. Paranormal investigators are drawn to the hotel to document ghostly activity using cameras, recording devices, and other tools in an attempt to capture proof of the spirits said to inhabit the building. Visitors who are sensitive to spiritual energy often report vivid experiences, including unexplained chills, sudden emotional shifts, and encounters with shadowy figures. The combination of opulence, history, and paranormal activity makes the Hermitage Hotel a uniquely compelling and terrifying destination. The Hermitage Hotel stands as a testament to the lingering power of history, memory, and human emotion. Each corridor, suite, and ballroom carries traces of the past, whether in the form of historical artifacts or the residual energy of former guests and residents. The spirits of the Hermitage are said to remain attached to the spaces they once occupied or events they witnessed, creating a haunting presence that continues to intrigue, terrify, and captivate those who enter. Visitors leave with stories, photographs, and memories that hint at the unseen world, a reminder that luxury and history are not always confined to the living. Number 8. The St. Elmo Historic District, Chattanooga. The St. Elmo Historic District in Chattanooga, Tennessee, is a neighborhood steeped in history, charm, and an unsettling reputation for paranormal activity. Nestled at the base of Lookout Mountain, this area is known for its quaint streets, historic homes, and vibrant past. Yet behind the picturesque facades lie tales of restless spirits, eerie encounters, and unexplained phenomena. The district, which dates back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, was once a bustling hub of commerce, industry, and family life. Over the decades, it has witnessed countless events, both joyous and tragic, leaving behind an energy that some believe continues to manifest in ghostly forms. Visitors to St. Elmo often report an immediate feeling that something is amiss, a sensation of being watched, or an inexplicable chill in the air. The streets and alleys, while seemingly ordinary during the day, take on a more ominous presence at night, as shadows appear to move along brick sidewalks and gas lamps flicker with no discernible source of wind or power fluctuation. Residents and tourists alike have shared stories of hearing footsteps echoing along deserted streets, whispers that seem to come from nowhere, and sudden cold drafts brushing against them, as if invisible presences were passing by. One of the most frequently reported phenomena involves the historic homes and buildings scattered throughout the district. Many houses, still standing from the early 1900s, have tales of hauntings tied to past residents who experienced tragedy or untimely deaths. Shadowy figures are often seen pacing the hallways, standing silently in doorways, or disappearing when approached. Guests and paranormal investigators have reported hearing doors creak open or shut, lights flickering without explanation, and objects moving as if guided by unseen hands. Some have even reported faint cries or murmurs, believed to be echoes of events that occurred decades ago. Certain areas within the district are considered particularly active. The stairwells and narrow hallways of older homes often seem to amplify sounds, making whispers, footsteps, or distant laughter unnervingly close. Residents report sensations of being touched, a heavy pressure in certain rooms, or an emotional intensity that cannot be easily explained. The past tragedies and intense emotional energy associated with the district's history appear to be imprinted on the very walls, creating hotspots for paranormal activity that draw ghost hunters and curious visitors alike. In addition to the historic homes, the streets themselves have stories of hauntings. Visitors have recounted seeing ghostly figures walking along sidewalks, disappearing behind corners, or standing in the glow of street lamps before vanishing. Some have reported hearing the sounds of horse-drawn carriages or footsteps along cobblestones when no traffic is present. The district's proximity to Lookout Mountain adds to the mystique, with misty nights and fog rolling in from the hillside, creating an atmosphere perfectly suited for ghostly sightings and eerie experiences. Many who explore St. Elmo at night describe a sense of time being distorted. Shadows seem to move independently of light sources, and familiar buildings appear to shift slightly or feel larger than they should. Residents tell stories of encounters with apparitions dressed in period clothing, silently walking the streets or standing at windows watching passers-by. Others describe sudden temperature drops, unexplained noises, or the feeling of being followed by something unseen, an intense awareness that they are not alone even in well-lit areas. Paranormal investigations in the district have documented unusual activity over the years. Ghost hunters often capture unexplained sounds, shadow figures, and electromagnetic fluctuations that do not correlate with any known source. Visitors sometimes experience vivid sensations of presence, including feelings of sorrow, anger, or despair, believed to be residual emotions left by former residents. These encounters reinforce the idea that St. Elmo is more than just a historic district. It is a place where the past continues to exist alongside the present in ways that are both fascinating and terrifying. The combination of history, tragedy, and architectural charm makes the St. Elmo Historic District a unique location for those drawn to the paranormal. Each street, alley, and home carries stories of human experience that cannot be fully explained, yet can be felt by those sensitive to the energies of the past. Visitors often leave with a lingering sense that they have brushed against something unseen, a reminder that while the district is beautiful and historic, it is also haunted by memories, spirits, and echoes of lives once lived. Number 9. The Rhea County Courthouse, Dayton. The Rhea County Courthouse in Dayton, Tennessee, is not only a historic landmark known for its connection to the famous Scopes monkey trial, it is also a site steeped in chilling paranormal activity. Built in the early 20th century, the courthouse has witnessed countless legal battles, personal tragedies, and moments of high tension, leaving behind an energy that some believe continues to haunt the building. With its stately architecture, echoing hallways, and imposing wooden staircases, the courthouse presents an atmosphere that can feel simultaneously grand and oppressive, particularly after dark. when the shadows seem to lengthen and the air grows heavy with the weight of the past. Visitors often describe a palpable sense of unease as soon as they step inside the courthouse. The echo of their footsteps along the hardwood floors seems unnaturally amplified, and the silence between sounds can feel suffocating. Many have reported hearing voices or whispers that do not correspond to any present human activity. Faint murmurs carrying through the hallways or courtroom chambers. Shadowy figures are sometimes glimpsed moving along the corridors, disappearing behind corners or vanishing into the walls. Cold spots appear suddenly and without explanation, chilling visitors even in the midst of summer heat, suggesting the presence of something otherworldly, lingering unseen. The courthouse's history contributes heavily to its haunted reputation. Over the decades, it has seen numerous trials, arrests, and personal confrontations, and it is believed that the intense emotions tied to these events have left their mark on the building. Some say that spirits of former judges, attorneys, and defendants still linger, replaying the tension, anger, and despair of past trials. Courtrooms, in particular, are often cited as hotspots for paranormal activity, where lights flicker unexpectedly, papers move on their own, and unseen hands seem to tug at doors or files. One of the most frequently reported phenomena involves the main courtroom. Visitors have recounted hearing phantom gavel strikes, footsteps pacing along the wooden floors, and the faint murmur of legal arguments long past. Some have even claimed to see full-bodied apparitions standing at the judge's bench or in the gallery, watching silently before vanishing. The air in these moments is often heavy and charged, as if the building itself is trying to communicate or replay moments from its history. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs, unexplained noises, and sudden temperature drops that reinforce the courthouse's reputation as a site of significant supernatural activity. The stairwells and hallways are also areas of notable activity. Visitors and staff have reported shadows darting across walls, doors opening and closing by themselves, and fleeting sensations of being touched or followed by unseen entities. Some have felt sudden pressure on their shoulders or backs while walking alone, only to find no one behind them. Many of these experiences are concentrated during the evening or late at night, when the courthouse is quiet and empty, allowing the ambient energy of the building to manifest more fully. In addition to visual and tactile phenomena, auditory experiences are common. Whispers echo through empty chambers, faint cries are heard in the hallways, and footsteps follow guests as they move through the building. Some visitors have reported hearing chains rattling or the sound of a gavel banging long after the courtroom has been vacated. These experiences create a chilling sense that the courthouse is alive with memories, a place where the past continues to replay itself in ways both subtle and startling. Staff members and locals have shared personal stories that reinforce the courthouse's haunted reputation. Employees have experienced doors locking and unlocking on their own, lights flickering without cause, and objects moving inexplicably. Witnesses have seen figures dressed in early 20th century attire, standing silently in hallways or disappearing into the shadows. Many describe an overwhelming feeling of being watched, an energy that seems to follow them from room to room, or an emotional intensity that cannot be explained by the building's historical significance alone. The Rhea County Courthouse remains a magnet for those intrigued by the paranormal. Ghost hunters and researchers visit with cameras, audio equipment, and other tools, seeking evidence of the spirits said to inhabit its rooms. Yet even casual visitors, unaware of the building's haunted reputation, often leave with stories of cold spots, fleeting shadows, or unexplained sounds. The courthouse's combination of history, architecture, and residual emotional energy creates a uniquely chilling environment that captivates and terrifies all who enter. The presence of lingering spirits at the Rhea County Courthouse serves as a stark reminder that history is not always confined to textbooks or photographs. Every courtroom, hallway, and office carries the echoes of decisions made, conflicts endured, and lives forever changed within its walls. The spirits of the past, whether residual or interactive, seem to remain tied to these moments, offering a haunting glimpse into the human experiences that unfolded here. For those brave enough to explore its halls, the courthouse is not just a historical site. It is a portal into the shadowed corners of Tennessee's past, where the line between the living and the dead becomes terrifyingly thin. Number 10. The Huntsville Unit, Huntsville. The Huntsville Unit in Huntsville, Tennessee, is a prison steeped in history, notorious for its role in housing some of the state's most dangerous criminals, and infamous for the chilling paranormal activity reported within its walls. Established in the 1840s, the facility has seen centuries of human suffering, despair, and violence, making it a hotspot for ghostly encounters and unexplained phenomena. With its stark cells, long corridors, and foreboding watchtowers, the Huntsville Unit exudes an oppressive atmosphere that many visitors describe as heavy and unsettling, a place where the weight of countless lives lost and troubled souls seems to permeate the air. Visitors to the prison often describe a profound sense of unease immediately upon entering. The echo of their footsteps on concrete floors can sound unnaturally loud, and even the smallest noises are amplified in the silence. Many report hearing distant voices or whispers that cannot be attributed to anyone nearby, faint murmurs that seem to come from empty cells or dark corners. Shadows are frequently spotted moving along the hallways, disappearing when approached, and cold spots appear without warning, sending chills down the spines of staff and guests alike. The history of the Huntsville Unit contributes heavily to its haunted reputation. Over the decades, countless inmates have been executed, imprisoned, or suffered harsh conditions within its walls. Many believe that the intense emotions tied to these tragic events have left lingering energy, giving rise to the reported hauntings. Inmates and staff have shared stories of objects moving inexplicably, doors opening and closing on their own, and strange sounds echoing through the cell blocks. Some report hearing the clanging of chains, footsteps pacing along deserted corridors, or anguished cries that seem to have no source. Particularly active areas of the prison include the death chamber, the old cell blocks, and the administrative offices. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported seeing shadowy figures standing in cells or walking the corridors, only to vanish when approached. Lights flicker or dim unexpectedly, creating an eerie ambiance that heightens the sense of unease. Some have felt sudden pressure or cold touches, as if the spirits of former inmates or guards were brushing past them. The intense energy of these areas makes them prime locations for ghost hunters and thrill seekers looking to document the unexplained. Auditory phenomena are commonly reported throughout the Huntsville Unit. People have described hearing whispers, conversations, and laughter where no one is present, along with the sound of keys jingling or chains dragging along the floor. Some have claimed to hear the voice of former prisoners crying out for help or shouting in anger, particularly in the older, less frequently used sections of the facility. These auditory experiences often leave a lasting impression, making visitors feel as though the prison is alive with the echoes of its violent and tragic past. Staff members and locals have also shared their chilling encounters. Corrections officers and maintenance personnel often recount doors slamming, lights flickering, and objects moving without explanation. Some have seen figures in old prison uniforms, appearing briefly in hallways before disappearing. Many describe an oppressive feeling that follows them through the corridors, an unseen presence observing every movement. Even those who are skeptical of the supernatural often admit to an unshakable sense of discomfort or fear while inside the prison. The architectural design of the Huntsville unit further amplifies the eerie atmosphere. Long hallways, high ceilings, and narrow cell blocks create spaces where sounds and shadows play tricks on the mind, making ordinary noises and movements seem sinister. The cold stone walls and iron bars enhance the feeling of confinement and isolation, intensifying the emotional impact of any paranormal experience. Visitors often leave with a lingering sense that they have brushed against something unseen, an impression that the past is not truly gone, and that the spirits of those who suffered here continue to walk the halls. The Huntsville unit has become a destination for paranormal enthusiasts, historians, and curious tourists eager to explore a location where history and the supernatural intersect. Ghost hunters have documented unexplained sounds, shadow figures, and sudden temperature changes, all reinforcing the belief that the prison is haunted. Guests sometimes report vivid sensations of being watched, or fleeting glimpses of figures standing silently in the corners of cells or hallways. These experiences create an atmosphere where the line between reality and the supernatural becomes blurred, and the weight of the prison's dark history is felt acutely. For those brave enough to visit, the Huntsville unit offers more than just a glimpse into Tennessee's criminal past. It provides a direct encounter with the lingering spirits of its history, a chilling reminder of the suffering, fear, and unresolved energy that permeates the facility. Each corridor, cell, and chamber tells a story, and the spirits that remain seem to ensure that these stories are not forgotten. Guests leave with haunting memories, photographs, and an awareness that this prison is not merely a historical site, but a living monument to the echoes of the past, where the presence of the unseen is both terrifying and undeniable. Number 11. Andrew Jackson's Hermitage, Nashville. Andrew Jackson's Hermitage in Nashville, Tennessee is a historic plantation home, renowned for its connection to the 7th President of the United States. But it is also infamous for the chilling tales of paranormal activity reported within its walls and across its sprawling grounds. Built in the early 19th century, the Hermitage has seen generations of life, death, and social upheaval, including the suffering of enslaved people who lived and worked on the property. Visitors often describe a palpable heaviness in the air, a sense that the energy of past lives continues to linger, manifesting in strange sounds, eerie shadows, and sensations that defy explanation. Upon entering the main house, guests frequently notice an immediate change in atmosphere. The grand hallways and stately rooms, while beautifully preserved, exude a sense of solemnity that can quickly turn into unease. Many visitors report hearing whispers, the faint creaking of floorboards, or the sound of distant footsteps when no one else is present. Shadows often appear at the edges of rooms or in corners, moving as if alive before disappearing when observed directly. Cold spots are commonly reported in certain areas, especially in bedrooms and passageways, where past tragedies are believed to have occurred. The Hermitage's history adds layers to its haunted reputation. As a working plantation, It was a site of labor, hardship, and deep emotional experiences. Many believe that the spirits of enslaved individuals remain, their presence felt as fleeting figures in the gardens, the smell of smoke or cooking from the kitchens, or sudden drops in temperature in certain rooms. Others report seeing apparitions of Andrew Jackson himself, standing silently in his study, or walking the grounds at dusk, a shadowy presence tied to the powerful and turbulent history of the estate. Auditory phenomena are among the most commonly reported experiences. Visitors have recounted hearing muffled voices, the rustle of clothing, or the clatter of objects without explanation. Some describe hearing a piano playing faintly in rooms where no instrument exists, or footsteps pacing across the floors above them. These sounds often appear to follow visitors, moving from room to room, heightening the feeling of being observed by unseen entities. Many describe the atmosphere as emotionally charged, with sudden feelings of sorrow, anger, or fear that seem to emanate from the very walls of the mansion. The gardens and outbuildings of the Hermitage are also reported to be hotspots for paranormal activity. Figures are sometimes seen walking along the tree-lined paths or between the rows of old stone structures. Shadows flit between the trees and around the corners of barns or smokehouses, disappearing as quickly as they appear. Visitors have reported cold gusts of wind in the middle of calm summer days, or the sensation of being followed as they walk through the grounds. These experiences suggest that the spirits are not confined to the main house, but remain tied to the larger property where so much history unfolded. Staff and volunteers at the Hermitage have shared countless stories of strange encounters. Lights flicker without cause, doors open and close on their own, and objects appear to move inexplicably. Some have felt the sensation of being touched or brushed past by invisible hands, while others report seeing fleeting glimpses of figures in period clothing walking the halls. Many describe the estate as a place where history is alive in a very literal sense, with the past leaving an indelible imprint that can be sensed by those sensitive to the supernatural. The combination of architecture, history, and the lingering emotional energy makes Andrew Jackson's Hermitage a uniquely chilling location. Long hallways, high ceilings, and numerous hidden corners create spaces where sounds and movements are amplified, enhancing the sense of presence. Visitors often describe the feeling that they are not merely walking through a historic home, but are moving among echoes of past lives, each room resonating with memories of the people who once inhabited it. Paranormal investigators have documented a variety of phenomena at the Hermitage, from unexplained temperature drops to shadow figures captured on camera. The evidence continues to fuel its reputation as a haunted site. Some investigators have reported hearing whispers in empty rooms or recording EVPs that suggest the presence of multiple entities. Visitors often leave with an overwhelming sense that the Hermitage is more than just a museum or historic site. It is a place where the boundary between the living and the dead is thin, and the echoes of the past remain palpable. The haunting at Andrew Jackson's Hermitage serves as a reminder of the complex and often dark histories embedded in historic sites across the United States. The mansion is a living testament to both the prominence of a historical figure and the human suffering entwined with that legacy. Those who walk its halls, explore its grounds, or visit its outbuildings are stepping into a space where history and the paranormal intersect, where the past continues to make its presence known in unsettling and unforgettable ways. Number 12. The Old Gray Cemetery, Knoxville. The Old Gray Cemetery in Knoxville, Tennessee, is one of the city's oldest burial grounds, established in the early 19th century and it is widely regarded as a hotspot for paranormal activity. With its moss-covered headstones, winding pathways, and towering oak trees, the cemetery exudes an eerie atmosphere that is heightened after dark, when the stillness of the grounds seems almost unnatural. Visitors often describe a sense of being watched, an unsettling feeling that the spirits of those buried here remain present, silently observing anyone who dares to enter. Walking through the cemetery, one can sense the weight of history in every corner. Rows of aging tombstones mark the resting places of soldiers, citizens, and notable local figures whose lives shaped Knoxville. Many of these individuals met tragic or untimely deaths, and locals believe that their spirits linger, manifesting in ghostly apparitions, sudden cold spots, or unexplained sounds. Visitors frequently report seeing shadowy figures moving between the graves or catching glimpses of figures standing motionless at the edges of the cemetery before vanishing without a trace. Auditory phenomena are commonly reported at the Old Gray Cemetery. Footsteps echo across empty pathways. Whispers drift through the air when no one is nearby, and sometimes the faint sound of mourning or crying can be heard in the distance. Some visitors claim to hear chains dragging along the ground or see the swaying of branches when there is no wind. These unexplained occurrences create a tense and unnerving atmosphere, as though the cemetery itself is alive with the memories of the past. Many of the reported apparitions are described as misty or shadowy figures, though some are more solid and lifelike. Witnesses have seen figures in 19th century attire, walking slowly between the graves or standing near tombstones, staring silently before fading away. These encounters often leave visitors shaken, and some describe feeling an inexplicable sadness or heaviness in the air, a residual emotion from the lives and deaths of those interred here. The cemetery's isolation and layout contribute to its haunted reputation. Narrow pathways wind between tall monuments and densely planted trees, creating shadows that play tricks on the eyes. Visitors have reported sudden chills, the sensation of being followed, or hearing footsteps behind them when no one is present. Even during the day, the atmosphere is heavy and somber, but at night, the cemetery transforms into a place where the line between the living and the dead feels blurred. Paranormal investigators are often drawn to the Old Gray Cemetery to document its eerie occurrences. Reports of EVPs, cold spots, and shadow figures are common, and some investigators have claimed to capture the faint outlines of apparitions in photographs. Many note that the cemetery seems to respond to human presence, as if the spirits are aware of intruders and want to make their presence known. These experiences have cemented the cemetery's reputation as one of Knoxville's most haunted locations, attracting thrill seekers and ghost enthusiasts alike. The Old Gray Cemetery is not only a place of historical significance, but also a site where the supernatural is believed to intermingle with the living. Each tombstone and pathway tells a story, and the lingering energy of past lives adds to the chilling atmosphere. Visitors often leave with more than just photographs or historical knowledge. They leave with the memory of a place that feels alive in its silence, a location where the past continues to speak in whispers and shadows. Number 13. The Sampson House, Memphis. The Sampson House in Memphis, Tennessee is a historic residence notorious for its unsettling paranormal activity, earning it a reputation as one of the most haunted homes in the region. With its stately architecture and long history, stretching back over a century, the house has witnessed generations of residents, each leaving behind stories, memories, and in some cases, lingering energy that many believe manifests as ghostly phenomena. The house's imposing facade and quiet tree-lined surroundings give it a sense of solemnity. Yet behind its doors, visitors often report a starkly different, eerie presence that is difficult to ignore. Upon entering the Sampson House, guests frequently notice an immediate shift in atmosphere. The air feels heavier, colder in certain rooms, and a sense of being watched can settle over even the most skeptical visitor. Many who have toured the property or stayed overnight report hearing footsteps echoing across floors where no one is present, the creak of doors opening or closing by themselves, and faint whispers that seem to originate from empty corners. Shadows are often seen moving along hallways or across rooms, vanishing as soon as they are directly observed, and cold spots appear unpredictably, chilling visitors even on warm days. The history of the Sampson House adds to its haunted reputation. Over the decades, it has been home to numerous families and has seen events both ordinary and tragic. Some accounts suggest that past residents experienced illness, untimely deaths, or personal tragedies within the home, leaving behind emotional imprints that some believe are now tied to the lingering spirits. Staff, visitors, and paranormal investigators alike have described the feeling that the house is alive with residual energy, a place where the emotions of the past interact with the present in subtle yet unmistakable ways. Auditory experiences at the Sampson House are among the most commonly reported phenomena. Guests often hear disembodied voices calling out names, faint conversations that cannot be traced, or the sound of furniture being moved when the house is empty. Some describe hearing the soft laughter of children echoing through hallways, or the rustling of curtains in rooms without windows open. These sounds, sometimes fleeting and other times persistent, create a sense of unease that can leave visitors feeling both intrigued and unnerved. Visual phenomena are also frequently reported. Shadowy figures are seen in doorways or at the ends of hallways, often disappearing when approached. Some visitors have captured photographic evidence of unexplained orbs, mist-like shapes, or fleeting silhouettes that cannot be explained by natural causes. Others recount seeing apparitions resembling former residents, dressed in period clothing, moving slowly through the rooms, or standing silently before fading away. These sightings often leave a lasting impression, reinforcing the house's reputation as a place where the boundary between the living and the dead is thin. The architecture and layout of the Sampson House contribute significantly to the intensity of these experiences. Its high ceilings, long corridors, and dense furnishings create spaces where sounds carry unnaturally. Shadows stretch and shift, and even minor movements are amplified. Rooms that were once bedrooms, studies, or sitting areas now serve as focal points for paranormal encounters. Visitors frequently describe sudden sensations of dread, feelings of being followed, or the sense that someone unseen is observing their every action. These experiences make it clear that the Sampson House is more than just a historic property. It is a location where the past is alive in a tangible, often unsettling way. Staff and local residents have shared countless accounts of encounters within the Sampson House. Lights flicker without electrical cause, objects move or are found in different locations than where they were left, and doors open and close seemingly on their own. Some have felt the brush of unseen hands, sudden temperature drops, or an inexplicable pressure on their chest or shoulders. Even those who are skeptical of the supernatural often find themselves unnerved, unable to shake the sensation that something beyond the natural world is present. The Sampson House is particularly active during the night, when the stillness of the surrounding neighborhood heightens the eerie ambiance. Visitors have reported hearing footsteps pacing upstairs, soft crying in rooms that have been unoccupied for decades, and shadowy figures appearing in windows or along staircases. Paranormal investigators have frequently used tools such as EVP recorders, thermal cameras, and motion sensors, documenting phenomena that defy conventional explanation. Many assert that the house seems to react to human presence, intensifying activity when people are exploring, as if the spirits are deliberately making themselves known. Beyond the ghostly apparitions, the emotional energy of the Sampson House leaves a lasting impression on visitors. Many report feelings of sadness, fear, or heaviness while walking through certain rooms or corridors, sensations that can linger long after leaving the property. Others describe sudden bursts of adrenaline or the feeling of being watched, as if the spirits are aware of intruders and wish to remind them of their presence. These experiences make the house a destination for thrill seekers, historians, and paranormal enthusiasts, all seeking to witness firsthand the haunting that has defined the Sampson House for generations. The Sampson House stands as a chilling reminder of the lingering impact of history, emotions, and human tragedy. Its ornate rooms and stately architecture hide centuries of stories, some joyful and some tragic, yet all contributing to the sense that the house is alive in ways that cannot be measured by the living. Those who venture within its walls leave with more than just memories of historic architecture or antique furnishings. They carry with them the awareness of a presence that persists beyond the normal boundaries of life and death. Number 14. The Rhea Springs Hotel Ruins, Rhea County. The Rhea Springs Hotel Ruins in Rhea County, Tennessee, are infamous as one of the most haunted locations in the state, drawing the attention of thrill seekers, ghost hunters, and curious travelers alike. Once a luxurious hotel, built in the late 19th century, the property now lies in ruins, a crumbling testament to its storied past. Despite the decay, or perhaps because of it, the ruins are said to be alive with paranormal energy, making anyone who ventures there feel the lingering presence of both history and haunting. The hotel, once a vibrant social hub for wealthy visitors seeking respite and leisure, has long been associated with tragedies, mysterious disappearances, and unexplained deaths, all of which have contributed to the chilling reputation it holds today. Walking among the ruins, visitors often describe an immediate change in atmosphere. The air feels heavier, charged with energy that is hard to explain, and the sense of being watched is nearly constant. Crumbling walls, moss-covered stones, and collapsed hallways create a maze-like environment where sounds are amplified, shadows appear to move independently, and the ordinary becomes terrifying. Many report hearing footsteps echoing across floors where no one is present, the creak of doors or loose boards shifting without cause, and the faint murmuring of voices that cannot be traced. Cold spots are common, and sudden drops in temperature are reported even in the warmth of midday, adding to the sense that the hotel is more than a physical structure. It is a space inhabited by lingering spirits. The history of the Rhea Springs Hotel is deeply intertwined with its paranormal activity. The hotel was a symbol of luxury in its heyday, hosting travelers, socialites, and visitors seeking the restorative properties of the natural springs nearby. However, several fires, structural collapses, and unexplained deaths occurred over the decades, leaving behind a legacy of tragedy that many believe continues to influence the energy of the site. Guests and local historians recount stories of sudden illnesses, mysterious disappearances, and accidents that claimed lives within the hotel walls. These incidents have cemented the property's reputation as cursed, with energy from past events manifesting in ghostly phenomena for those who dare to explore. Visitors report both visual and auditory hauntings at the Rhea Springs Hotel ruins. Shadowy figures are often seen moving between the remains of the collapsed walls, some appearing to wear period clothing from the hotel's operational days. Apparitions of former guests or staff have been spotted lingering near stairways, windows, and doorways, vanishing when approached. Some report seeing full-bodied figures walking across the grounds before dissolving into thin air. The auditory phenomena are equally unsettling, including the sound of distant laughter, conversations from empty rooms, footsteps that follow the visitor through hallways, and objects moving or falling with no visible cause. These experiences create an immersive sense of being part of the hotel's haunted past, leaving many visitors shaken long after leaving the site. The physical layout of the ruins enhances the haunting. Narrow corridors, crumbling staircases, and partially collapsed walls create spaces where echoes amplify sounds, shadows stretch unnaturally, and small movements in the environment become magnified and alarming. Visitors frequently report feelings of unease or dread, particularly in areas where the architecture has partially collapsed or where the building once served as bedrooms and dining halls. Some have felt sudden pressure on their shoulders or the sensation of being followed, as if unseen observers are intent on making their presence known. Even those who approach the ruins with skepticism often find themselves unnerved by the pervasive atmosphere and the inexplicable occurrences that seem to happen for no reason. The surrounding property also plays a role in the haunted reputation of the Rhea Springs Hotel. The sprawling grounds, once landscaped and maintained for leisure, are now overgrown and wild, creating natural shadows that play tricks on the eyes. Visitors report hearing footsteps moving through the underbrush, sudden rustling of leaves with no wind, or the feeling of being observed from hidden corners. Figures have been seen wandering the grounds, sometimes appearing to mimic the movements of visitors, while other times standing silently at the edges of their vision. These experiences suggest that the haunting extends beyond the main ruins, encompassing the entire property and creating a sense of inescapable presence for those who explore. Paranormal investigators frequently visit the Rhea Springs Hotel ruins to document the numerous reports of activity. Many have captured EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, where voices can be heard speaking, calling names, or repeating phrases with no one present. Cameras have picked up shadowy figures, orbs, and other unexplained visual anomalies. Temperature fluctuations are common, and motion sensors sometimes detect movement where no living creature is present. Investigators often note that the property seems to respond to human presence, intensifying activity when people are exploring, as if the spirits wish to communicate or assert their lingering presence. The emotional impact of the Rhea Springs Hotel ruins is palpable. Visitors describe feelings of sadness, unease, or even fear that settle over them as they navigate the ruins. The combination of the physical decay, the history of tragedy, and the unexplained phenomena creates an immersive and unsettling experience. For many, the ruins serve as a reminder that history is not confined to books or plaques. It lives on in spaces where energy has been imprinted, where events of the past continue to echo in ways that cannot be explained by the living. In addition to its ghostly apparitions and strange sounds, the ruins are said to harbor residual energy from intense human emotions. Grief, anger, joy, and despair from the hotel's many visitors and staff over the decades seem to have left impressions that can be sensed by those who are sensitive to such phenomena. Many report feeling emotional shifts, sudden sadness, or a sense of connection to the past when wandering through the ruins, as if they are briefly glimpsing the lives and stories of those who came before. The Rhea Springs Hotel. Ruins are more than just a decaying building. They are a living testament to the interplay of history, tragedy, and the paranormal. The property captures the imagination and fear of anyone who dares to walk its crumbling halls or explore its overgrown grounds. Those who visit often leave with a deep sense of respect for the past, a heightened awareness of the lingering spirits, and an unforgettable experience that stays with them long after they have returned to the safety of the modern world. Number 15. The Talbot House, Chattanooga. The Talbot House in Chattanooga, Tennessee, is widely regarded as one of the most haunted residences in the state, drawing curiosity seekers, paranormal investigators, and thrill seekers from far and wide. This historic property, with its Victorian-era architecture and storied past, exudes an aura of both elegance and unease. Over the years, the house has earned a reputation for supernatural activity, with countless reports of ghostly apparitions, unexplained sounds, and eerie sensations that seem to defy the laws of the natural world. Walking through its halls, visitors often feel the weight of history pressing down, as if the walls themselves are imbued with the memories and emotions of those who have lived and died there. Upon entering the Talbot House, guests often notice an immediate shift in the atmosphere. The air grows heavier, colder in certain areas, and a palpable tension seems to hang between the rooms. Many report feeling as though unseen eyes are watching their every move, a sensation that intensifies as they explore the property further. Footsteps echo through the empty halls, sometimes following visitors as they move from room to room, while doors open and close of their own accord. The sensation of sudden cold spots, unexplained drafts, and an oppressive heaviness can leave even the most skeptical visitors feeling unsettled. The Talbot House's history contributes significantly to its haunted reputation. Constructed in the late 1800s, it has seen generations of families come and go, many of whom experienced personal tragedies, illness, or untimely deaths within its walls. Local lore suggests that some of these individuals were unable to find peace in death, and their spirits continue to inhabit the house, lingering in the rooms where they once lived, loved, and suffered. Accounts of paranormal activity date back decades, with neighbors, historians, and visitors all reporting strange occurrences that cannot be explained by conventional means. Auditory phenomena are among the most commonly reported experiences at the Talbot House. Visitors have described hearing whispers that drift through hallways, faint cries of distress from rooms long abandoned, and the sound of furniture being moved when no one is present. Children's laughter, the clinking of dishes, and the soft rustling of fabric are also frequently reported, giving the impression that past residents are replaying moments of their lives in spectral form. Some have reported hearing footsteps on staircases that no longer exist, or coming from areas of the house that are completely empty. These experiences create an immersive and chilling atmosphere, making it clear why the Talbot House is feared and revered by those who explore it. Visual manifestations are another hallmark of the Talbot House hauntings. Shadowy figures have been seen moving through hallways, disappearing when approached. Full-bodied apparitions resembling past residents have been reported, often appearing in Victorian attire and engaging in ordinary domestic activities before fading into thin air. Some visitors have captured photographs showing unexplained orbs, misty shapes, or fleeting silhouettes that seem to move independently of any natural light, or reflection. Many recount seeing faces peering from windows or doorways, only to vanish when directly looked at, creating a sense of unease and tension that persists long after leaving the property. The physical layout of the Talbot House enhances its haunted atmosphere. High ceilings, long corridors, narrow staircases, and ornate rooms with antique furnishings create spaces where sounds echo unnaturally, shadows stretch and shift unpredictably, and minor movements can trigger heightened senses of fear or anxiety. Rooms that were once used as bedrooms, parlors, or studies often become epicenters of paranormal activity, with visitors reporting sudden chills, unexplained sounds, or the sensation of being touched or watched. The house seems to respond to human presence, amplifying activity when people are exploring, as if the spirits are deliberately asserting their existence to those who intrude on their domain. Local accounts and first-hand experiences add depth to the legend of the Talbot House. Neighbors have reported seeing lights flickering inside the house at night when no electricity is present, shadows moving behind curtains, and figures standing in windows. Paranormal investigators often find the house to be a hotbed of activity, detecting unexplained temperature fluctuations, capturing EVPs of voices and sounds, and documenting visual anomalies that suggest a presence beyond the natural. Some claim that the house is haunted not only by one or two entities, but by multiple spirits, each tied to different rooms, floors, or events in the house's long history. Visitors often describe an emotional component to their experiences at the Talbot House. Many feel an oppressive sadness, a sudden heaviness on the chest, or an unexplainable anxiety that grows as they move deeper into the house. Others report brief moments of fear or shock, sometimes accompanied by the sense of being touched or followed. Even those who enter with skepticism often leave with a renewed respect for the unknown and an acknowledgement that the house is a place where the past continues to exist in the present in ways that cannot be fully explained. The Talbot House stands as a haunting reminder of the intersection between history, tragedy, and the supernatural. Its elegant architecture and historic significance are overshadowed by the pervasive sense of something lingering beyond the ordinary. Those who visit are often left with more than just memories of the past or fascination with old architecture. They leave with an awareness of a presence that refuses to rest, a reminder that some stories and spirits persist long after life has ended. For anyone interested in exploring haunted locations, the Talbot House offers an unparalleled experience. From shadowy apparitions to chilling auditory phenomena, from sudden cold spots to the heavy sense of being watched, the house provides a deeply immersive encounter with the paranormal. It is a location that demands respect, courage, and an open mind, offering visitors a chance to connect with the unseen in a way few places can. Thank you for sticking with us through this terrifying journey into Tennessee's most haunted places. We hope you felt the chills and goosebumps as we explored each eerie location, from abandoned hotels to historic mansions, haunted roads, and places where history and the supernatural collide in the most unsettling ways. Tennessee is full of stories that are whispered in the dark, secrets hidden in old walls, and spirits that refuse to rest. And these 15 locations are some of the most spine-tingling examples you will ever encounter. Every creaking floorboard, every shadow that moves on its own, and every unexplained whisper you've heard about these places tells a story of the past reaching into the present, reminding us that some histories are never truly buried. Whether it's ghostly apparitions lingering in old rooms, the echoes of footsteps following you through abandoned hallways, or sudden cold spots that make your hair stand on end. Each haunted site holds its own unique story, connecting us to lives that came before us in ways that are impossible to fully explain. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into Tennessee's haunted hotspots, now is the perfect time to show your support. Hit that like button to let us know you want more spine-chilling content, and share this video with friends and family who dare to explore the paranormal or simply love a good ghost story. Every like and share helps us bring you even more terrifying adventures from haunted mansions, historic forts, abandoned prisons, and ghost-filled landscapes across the world. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss a new video exploring the eerie, the haunted, and the unexplained. We have more haunted houses, mysterious forests, and paranormal hotspots waiting for you, each with their own dark secrets and stories that are sure to make your heart race and keep you looking over your shoulder. By subscribing, you'll become part of a community that loves the thrill of the unknown, a group of brave souls who explore the chilling corners of history and encounter the spirits that linger there. Join us as we continue to investigate haunted locations, uncover ghost stories that have been passed down through generations, and reveal the mysteries that make the paranormal so fascinating. So remember, like, share, and subscribe. Step carefully, stay curious, and never underestimate the stories that old walls, abandoned places, and shadowed hallways might be trying to tell you. The world is full of haunted secrets waiting to be discovered, and we're here to guide you through every chilling step. Stay tuned, stay brave, and prepare yourself for more haunted adventures that you won't soon forget.